Hi, everybody. Carmen.
I'm Mike.
And Mike, welcome to virtual day 2 of our 40th anniversary sale. This has been so much fun. Thank you, everyone who is watching live. I love this. We have people from Paulsbo, Renton, Ballard, Edmonds, Montesano. Thank you for being here. We are having so much fun as we celebrate our 40th anniversary. We have been talking about all of the different fun new machines, new notions, some of just our favorite notions, even if they're not new, tools, accessories, you name it. We've had 3 days of fun. This is day 2. If you missed day 1, you can go back and watch it on our YouTube channel or probably even on our Facebook page, but you can watch it and you can even go to the different segments. Yesterday we covered a lot of really amazing machines and notions, and today we have even more fun stuff in store for you. But today we thought kick it off with a little bit of the quality sewing story. So you may or may not know this, but Mike and I are 2 of the owners of Quality Sewing. And Mike's my brother. And our parents started the business in 1985, which is pretty awesome. So we have some fun pictures here. We thought you might want to see us. Let's see here. So here's Paul.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Back when he was the manager of the Singer Service Center, I believe. Gosh.
Yeah, that is an old one. This is pre-1985. Because 1985 is when we have the start of Quality Sewing, which is why we're at 40 years this year.
And we think actually it says Rich on his name tag, but we can assure you it is actually Paul.
It is
We're not sure why Rich is on there.
Yes, but he started out as a service technician and then the manager of Singer here in the Seattle area. And Christine was working at
the Kirkland store.
Yeah. And before that, she was working, I think, at Sears.
Sears, yep.
And in the home department, doing sewing and stuff. So there's a lot of connection here. And then in 1985, they started a sewing machine store. They had a store in Kirkland. And Christine worked it, as Mike said, during the day. And Paul did repair. So it was like a very fun foundation. Here we are in 1987. You can see Mike, there's a little guy. How cute is he?
Years ago now.
Yeah, a few years ago.
A little more hair then.
Exactly. So in 1987, what I think is so interesting is what sewing machines look like and what they could do in 1987. So I found this pretty awesome. This is actually a video. I left the whole thing on here so in case you wanted to go search this out. There is literally this hour-long video that was taken off of a VHS and put onto YouTube as Pfaff presents the Creative 1471. Now we have been Pfaff dealers for a very long time. It was one of the first brands that we've carried. And so back in 1987, the 1471 that you see here in this picture was, you guessed it, the top of the line machine. I mean, it's pretty amazing. It did do decorative stitches, which
they have come a long way over the years. Just like your phone, like your car, man, machines have come a long way.
They have definitely come a long way.
We are so spoiled.
We are so spoiled. But that's what's sort of fun is that Quality Sewing over the years has changed a lot, right? We had 1 store and now we have 11 stores. We have a website, right? Like the technology has helped us in so many ways.
Absolutely.
But also the technology and machines.
It makes it, I mean, even I can sew, which is saying a lot, because they make them very, very user-friendly and intuitive. So if you don't get to sew a lot, which I don't do a lot of sewing currently, I can get on and I can play with all of them, which is a lot of fun.
Yes.
So
exactly. And if you're curious about our whole timeline, if you get our catalog, it looks like this. It arrived in homes last week or last weekend. We do have on page 2 here a timeline that it has some more fun pictures, and it talks about quality sewing through the years, but also the sewing machines through the years and which years different machines, like when the first 4x4 brother embroidery machine came out, right? That was a really big deal. And now when you think about how big was that hoop on the Bernina 990 yesterday? It was 16 by 12 inches, right? I mean, that is a huge hoop compared to where we started with a 4x4. So
you can literally crawl through that hoop.
You can crawl through that hoop. I think I can put it over myself.
Yeah.
Exactly. It is It is amazing what technology has done for our sewing, because back in 1987, was there needle up and needle down?
Maybe.
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think maybe it was revolutionary on a machine, but
there's electricity running to machines at that point, and there's a foot control.
Exactly. Some decorative stitches, but we have so much more
beyond
today.
treadles.
Yes, which is awesome. So like I said, we are a family business, and Paul and Christine started the business, and then both, obviously, Mike and myself work at Quality Sewing, but so does our sister, Annalie. She does all of our accounting, which is great. And we all have like different ways that we got into the business. I mean, how did you get your start?
Yeah, I mean, I started fixing vacuums at the Kirkland store back in high school. So that's really where I started. I mean, fixing vacuums. They're doing setups and teardowns for different shows like Sew Expo, Northwest Quilt and Craft Festival, different events. So really started, even before my teenage years in the store, fixing vacuums, and then moved on, went to college, did my own thing for a while, and then came back into the business.
It was just irresistible. I mean, this is just such a fun industry, and our customers are so great. We really appreciate each and every one of you. It's part of the reason why we're here today and why we're able to celebrate 40 years.
Absolutely, yeah. It's really fun to have known a lot of you for many years. I've worked in it since the Kirkland store, so some people I've known now for 20 years, and it's really amazing to see just to have that type of relationship with customers for a long time. So really, really special.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I got my start as a salesperson after college and teaching classes, and then I did graphic design for a while. I just did all sorts of different things, and now I'm just all over and having so much fun. So thank you again for joining us. We have a great set lineup today of a whole bunch of great things. I think we have a little slide we can pop up there that will show us the lineup. So in a few minutes here, we're going to have Devon from Kai talk about Kai scissors. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Bernette Maker 68 and their high-speed 08 machine. We have Reva with a presentation on the Pfaff 725 and 750. Mike here is going to talk about this amazing new vacuum from Riccar that is both a vacuum and a mop in one. You heard me right, all in one.
First of its kind, really amazing.
It is super amazing. I'm going to talk about some daylight lamps now that it's getting kind of dark. Like, I don't know about you, but I noticed how early it got dark last night, needing some better lighting. And then Reva's going to wrap us up with decorative serging techniques with the Baby Lock Applaud. So this is a super fun day. And then just like yesterday, you want to like, comment, and share, and you get to enter to win this beautiful Bernette 33 sewing machine. You get to enter to win all these other items that we've sort of been giving away throughout the day. And then just like yesterday, I will probably give away something live for someone who's watching. So you want to stay tuned in and watch live. Please comment, ask questions, all of those things. And we are having a sale in the stores right now.
Yeah, there's actually special pricing in all the stores. So if you call your local store location, they have special price lists for anniversary sale, and that they're much lower than they normally are. So certainly check that out. Our teams are waiting to get those calls, and they'd be happy to help you. So
yep, sale on everything. All of our machines have a special low price just for our anniversary sale that's happening this month. So that is awesome. So we are going to pass it over to Devon. He was live in our studio last week, and I interviewed him on some different things about Kai scissors, because scissors are such a useful part. Now, if you have questions, please throw them in the comment, and when we come back after this segment, Mike and I can answer those questions for you.
See you soon.
Hi, everybody. Carmen here. We are so excited to have Devon here from Kai. He is a scissor expert, and I don't know about you, but I have lots of different pairs of scissors, and I love having the right pair of scissors for the job. So Devon, tell us about why Kai is different.
Yeah, so what makes Kai different is mainly the steel that it's made out of. Kai is a Japanese company, and so their steel that's coming out of there is just better refined. It's going to be more durable, it's going to hold its edge longer, and they're able to make some unique metals that are just going to last longer as well. So we can jump right in and talk about one of our...
We should. I mean, I know that like myself and all of the team members at Quality Sewing, we all own Kai scissors, and we love them because they just work super well.
Yeah. Well, I know what we talked before about this, but the 7000 series is really our flagship scissors. They are our professional line. They are a harder, smoother, stronger blade than you're going to find on just about any other scissor out there. What really makes these guys special is that metal. And what we can do with that metal is we can make the blade sharper. Whereas if you did that on a softer blade, that's going to dull the blade really quickly. And so with that sharper blade, it's going to cut smoother, be less resistance for your hands in cutting. But then also I like to highlight that it is perfectly smooth on the inside here. There's a little coating on these guys, and what that allows for is rust resistance, smooth durability. And the final thing to note is going to be that nice big washer that we have on there, that spring washer. That's going to allow the blades, if you don't know the geometry of scissors and blades, basically two blades curve towards each other and then they bend off of each other. And if you have two pieces of metal just rubbing up against each other, that's going to cause, friction for those hands.
Yeah.
Those spring washers are going to allow it to float a little bit more and give, again, a smoother action for you. So.
Right, yeah. Can I
absolutely, yeah.
for a second?
Yeah.
So what I love is how they sound. I'm sure if I put it to my microphone, you probably can't hear it, but they just sound amazing. You can just tell that they are going to cut like all fabric like butter.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, what sort of fabrics are these going to work with?
Yeah, so they'll cut just about everything. Any kind of fabric you can throw at it. Obviously, there are some fabrics that are going to wear it down a little bit faster with your puller fleeces, but any kind of cottons, your knits, your wools, your satin, silks, it'll do it all.
Yeah, and I've even heard customers use it with batting, and it's amazing, right? You can just easily cut the batting. Or for garments, I mean, these are just really the gold standard, I feel like, in the Kai scissor line.
Yeah, and I will mention too, it's kind of got a unique design to it. So other scissors more have a traditional handle where it kind of goes in line, where these guys bend up just slightly and give you that kind of hybrid bend. So it's going to fit flat on the table there and give you a good cut.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so this is the Kai, and this is a 9-inch?
That is the 9-inch, yeah.
Okay, this is the Kai
7230
Professional Series 9-inch.
Yeah.
So this is one of our top sellers as well, and we really love this. But it looks like you have a brand new Professional Series scissor that I haven't even seen before.
Yeah, so this guy's only been around for a couple years now. This is our 7100. It is, we finally came out with something that was in the professional line on the smaller size. And also what they added with it is bigger finger holes. We've always had an issue with having a little bit smaller finger holes.
That's really helpful.
But those bigger finger holes are going to be good for, I have a lot of guys that come up to me at shows and things like that too. They need something to fit them. But you'll notice on the 7000 series, they also have metal all the way around. So you don't have to worry about, it breaking on you. It's going to hold up really well. And they do have those really nice points on there as well. I don't know if we can highlight that, but yeah, really fine points on the 7000 series too.
Oh, which is great for fussy cutting and things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, I guess we can jump into kind of our next line of thought. We'll jump over to these purple scissors here. So we're going to kind of talk about some specialties here. These serrated scissors are the purple scissors, I should say, are serrated. They have this little groove on the edge. I don't know if we can quite catch that. But what that's going to do is add some friction to the cut. When you're cutting those silks, those satins, any kind of fabric that wants to jump out of your scissors and run away, that just adds friction to the cut and kind of lays down some teeth in there so it won't push out or slide away. We do have a complete line of purple scissors, but this one right here is our 8-inch. It's the 3210 SE, serrated scissor, nice versatile blade that's going to cover most of any kind of pattern cutting and things that you need for.
And aren't these called the patchwork scissors?
They are patchwork scissors as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So they do a great job for anything that's going to go away. Yeah. Well, and we'll kind of highlight. Maybe we have some other options because we kind of get a bad rap for having kind of just bland black handles, but we do have some other options. We'll get into
like the fun purple one.
Yeah. Moving along on some specialty stuff, we do have scissors that have curves in them as well. These guys over here are going to both have a curved tip on them. One is more of a traditional, small 4-inch little snip there. And they do have just a slight curve at the tip there, if you can see that. And what that's going to allow for is sitting on top of a surface, flat, and cutting away that exposed thread. Anything that's going to pop up there, whether you're doing embroidery or applique where you need to cut away that top layer, it's going to help a lot with that. For handwork, this is going to be a good option. But we also have a double curved version. And this guy right here has a curve at the top. That first curve is going to be going over the hoop, and then the second curve is going to be for going away from your project. So
yeah, I love curved scissors.
Even kind of show that off here. Again, you're coming over the top of the hoop and cutting away those exposed threads, just laying flat, not having to worry about poking it.
Yeah, exactly. It makes it so much easier for cutting all those jump stitches and making sure you don't accidentally like cut the design or the fabric.
Yeah.
I can't be the only one who has accidentally like stabbed my scissors into something and totally ruined what I was working on.
You're definitely not.
Okay, yeah. And having the right scissor for the job definitely makes it so much easier. And that's where this little curve is really just amazing because it keeps that point away from doing damage to something, but it's helping you get real close and snipping all of those, loose threads. I mean, we have tons of them on anything that we make, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess we can kind of jump into a special breed. We can go rotary cutter.
Should we go rotary
That works.
cutter?
Yeah, let's do that. So what makes a Kai rotary cutter is the actual guard on this guy. And maybe I'll show the back first. We do have on the back this little lever, and it can move to the left or right. Either way, your choice. The only difference between that is how much the blade will rotate. So right now I have it on heavy, and then on the other direction is going to be light, so it spins really easily. Once it's to either side, the guard actually is still in place until you actually start cutting. So maybe we can look from top to bottom, but I'll maybe show, as I push with my finger here, that guard's going to move out of the way. So as I cut against this ruler here, it moves out of the way, but then it is back in place. With guard in place, you don't have to worry about, did I leave a blade out in the open? Do I have anything that's going to bump into it and get myself cut? There is that lock for ultimate safety if you want a way to make sure that it's locked and you're not going to cut yourself. But if you happen to leave it unlocked, it takes more effort to bump into this guy than it does to actually move that guard. So you won't get yourself cut if it's just sitting out in the open.
That is so nice because it is, I think we've all accidentally cut ourselves on our rotary cutters, and these things are so sharp.
Yeah.
They always make me a little bit nervous.
Yeah, and I will highlight our blades too. So our blades are tungsten steel on those guys.
Okay.
So a lot of people have stainless steel. That's the majority of your blades are going to be made of stainless. But these guys are going to last 50% or longer than your normal stainless steel blade.
Nice.
And they still are at a really great price point.
Great, and this is a 60 millimeter.
That is a 60, yeah.
So that means you can cut more with it, right? Than like a standard 45 millimeter.
Yeah, if you got more layers to do, yep.
Yeah, the 60 is better for that. And then what other sizes? Do you also make a 28 millimeter?
Yeah, so we make a 28 millimeter. It's going to be in a tan color, and it has a removable cap for that one. And then we also have a 45 also with that blue handle where
I do love the blue.
You don't have to worry about having a cap for it, and it'll just move out of the way when you unlock it.
Great, yeah. And then this is the 60. And then, so I know you mentioned that Kai has some really nice blades that are unique, but let's say you already have some 60 millimeter blades. Would they work in here?
Absolutely, yeah. And maybe we can kind of show that. When you're changing the blade on this guy, and look right here, we got this top nut on there, real easy. And you might run into some other brands that have washers and springs like that. Not on ours. It's super easy. Just pull it apart. There's no springs, no extra washers, nothing extra you need to do. Just put a blade back on there and put the pieces back together. No, nothing you need to figure out there as far as, which way does the spring go.
Yeah, it looks really easy. And also, you're not going to accidentally cut yourself as you try to change that blade.
Yeah, exactly. And so, as you mentioned, Fiskars, Olfa, those guys will all fit on our cutters. So if you already have blades, it'll work.
Okay, that is just good to know because I know sometimes we all buy lots of stuff and we want the new one that's a little bit easier to use, but we already have, blades or things. So that's great. Also, everything we're talking about today is on the Quality Sewing website, and you can purchase those items there. We have them, they're on sale. We also have all of the different Kai scissors and rotary cutters, maybe not all, I shouldn't say all because you have so many, but we have our favorites in our store locations, and we do have all the ones that we are talking about today in the store location. So I wanted to just mention that if you were curious, and then by all means, if you have any questions, please chat here, and back at the live segment, we will go over the different, and we'll answer those questions, or we'll put them in the comments if you're watching this after the live time.
Yeah. All right, well, now might be a good time to jump into those guys.
These guys, I love these.
Yeah, I was going to say, they tend to be popular around here. We've done some events with you guys in the past.
Yeah.
So these guys are what we call our seam removers. And what we have going on here is basically a razor blade with a guard over there. So I don't know if we picked that up quite, but there are basically this plastic guard that comes over the top with little tiny gaps in it. Right there, I think we got it. And what those gaps allow for is for you to cut on top of a surface and not have to worry about cutting yourself or cutting your fabric. Only things small enough to fall in that gap are going to get cut. So if we go ahead and start to try cutting away a seam here, you come in between the layers, and I don't know if I can get it. There we go.
Yeah.
You pull across the top of that exposed thread, and there we go.
Oh, that is amazing.
Pull across that top of the exposed thread, and it makes it really easy for cutting. You can even close it up and kind of do a circular motion, almost like sawing, where you're pulling across and getting those gaps to fall on that, and it cuts it right open.
What I love is how, like with these, you know, you don't have that point. You're not going to accidentally once again put a hole in your fabric. As you can tell from my stories, you know, I'm a little impatient, and whenever I mess something up and need to take my seams out, like I'm trying to hustle, right? Like I'm annoyed. I'm like want to do it fast, and sometimes with a normal seam ripper, you accidentally, once again, there's that little pointy part. You like put a hole in something, or you get a little bit too aggressive, and this really protects from that because it works really well. But you aren't gonna. It would be really hard for you to accidentally like cut your fabric.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, which is great, and you're not going to hurt yourself because I'm sure somebody has also poked themselves with a seam ripper before. I don't know who.
They work really great. We've had them going on for almost 8-9 years now.
Yeah, and they come in different colors, which is sort of fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see that.
Again, we're trying to move away from just being boring black.
So they're great, super handy to have. And then they also have the little cover, which is great. Which I think can just take us right into the next thing. I think you have some covers over here, and I wanted for you to tell us a little bit more about how to care for our, you know, our Kai scissors and keep them sharp, and like, can they be sharpened?
Yeah.
That's usually a pretty common question we get.
Yeah, so one of our biggest things that we like to sell just to help you make your scissors last longer are going to be tip covers. Just a little something that you can put on the end of your scissor and help them keep the blades closed so that when you're moving around, or you know, you're going to a show or coming to an event here at Quality Sewing, you can put this on there and travel with it, and it's not going to let the blades open and potentially knock into something else or poke a hole through your bag. But the biggest issue that people will have with their scissors getting dull and not realizing why is going to be the putting it in the drawer and then just letting it rattle around and let it knock into other things. It's a lot like a knife in that you want to make sure those blades are closed and that they're protected, because if they have the chance to bump into something, they're going to get a nick in the blade. So tip covers is a great way to take care of that. We do have a couple sizes. So we do have the one large size, and then we also have a smaller one that is going to be for the littler scissors, and it's on a lanyard. So if you're sitting at your machine and you want to
that's really handy.
Yeah, I want to have something, you want to know where it's at every time. You don't want to have to wonder, did I put my scissor underneath a pile of fabric and now I have no idea where it went. This is kind of an indicator for where it should be at all times. And if you move positions, right, you're moving from one area to another area, you can keep it with you and is really useful. The last one that we have, and you'll mainly only see this on any of our colored handled scissors, is going to be these kind of clear hard plastic covers, and we have those guys on the pink handles as well. These guys snap on, they're really nice, they just feel satisfying, but yeah, they'll fit all the way over the blade. Oh, I'm making it hard for the cameraman, my bad. But yeah, they snap right on all the way, and they look really sleek, and they just fit with a nice secure hold there too. So made specifically for that specific scissor. So it's a nice feature to have with some of our scissors.
Definitely a nice feature to have. So let's recap the different things that we talked about. So we talked first about these guys here. So this is the 7230 professional scissor, right? 9-inch blade, larger handles. I mean, they just cut like butter. It's pretty awesome. So we talked about these guys.
As well as the smaller 7000 series, yeah.
Right, okay, and then the smaller guy here, smaller 7000 series. What's this one's number?
7100.
7100, okay, perfect. And then we talked about the rotary cutter. This is the 60 millimeter rotary cutter, but they also have the 45 and the 28.
Correct, yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. Plus they have blades that are, you said tungsten steel.
Tungsten steel, yeah.
So they're really high quality. They last a long time, which is awesome. And we talked about the serrated purple. What's the number on this one?
So that one is a 3210.
3210. These are the serrated patchwork scissor, which is great for getting a little bit more grab when you're trying to cut something that's slippery or you're doing some sort of patchwork thing. And then of course we have two different styles of these little snips that have the little curve here, which is pretty awesome. There's the one with the handle curve, and this number is
5130.
5135 with the curve, and then this guy with the straight handle, but still the curved tip is the
5100. 5100C for curved.
5100C. So I'm telling you these numbers because I imagine there's a couple of these you might need. So that way when you go to our landing page, we do have a landing page for everything that we're talking about at this event, right? This virtual event that we're doing over the course of a couple of different days here. So that way you can go shop those things. We do have everything on sale. And you know the thing that we haven't talked about, I think we should give away a pair of these scissors for someone who likes, comment, and shares on either the YouTube channel or on Facebook. You can like, comment, and share on either of those places. And then we are going to give away a pair of these. These are my personal favorite, these little double curved guys, to one of the winners. And we have all sorts of different prizes that we are giving away each day and through the actually, we're going to give them away all at the end, but we're going to tell you about the prizes each day, some of the different things at the different segments. So be sure to like, comment, and share. And yes, so Devon, this was so helpful. I love all these scissors. We really appreciate you coming and visiting us so we can share all of your good. Oh yes, we forgot all about that. My team is like, come on, Carmen, talk about the left-handed scissors. You're a lefty. You also have left-handed scissors.
Yeah, so I do want to highlight that before we take off. We do have left-handed scissors here, and they do come in 2 different styles. Man, I should not have worn a black shirt. So our left-handed scissors, like I said, come in 2 different styles. We have this guy, which is a left-handed handle on a right-handed pair of scissors. Many left-handed people have used right-handed scissors their whole life, so we want to make something that fits the hand and fits the way that we're used to using them, where you kind of look across your body to see where you're cutting, kind of, need to peek and see where it's at, and you get used to pulling in with your thumb. So pulling in with your thumb keeps those blades together on a right-handed pair of scissors, and it's a hard thing to unlearn. But for those guys who have not been made to do things the right-handed way, we do have a true lefty as well. And so these guys are true lefties. They have the left-handed handle, and then the blades are swapped, which one is on which side, so I can kind of show these two. You'll notice this one opens that back blade up, whereas the front one goes up on here, even though they're pointing the same direction. And what it does, having a true lefty, is it fits more naturally to your hand. It's going to be in line with the inside of your body. The blade goes down so you can see where you're cutting, and you don't have to pull in with your thumb to make it work. So these guys are the 5210L and then the 5220L for left-handed scissors if you're looking for an option.
It's great that you have left-handed scissors, because there really are, many people, my daughter's a lefty, many people are lefties, so that is awesome. I love that you have such a beautiful variety. I really feel like you have the perfect scissor or cutting tool for whatever the job is.
We try.
Yes, which is awesome. Thank you so much for joining us, Devon. We really appreciate it. And we're going to send it back to probably Reva and myself. Thanks, Devon. That was amazing. So we do have some questions about the different Kai scissors. I actually have one of each of them here. So if you have a specific question about one of them, we have it here too to answer those right now. So the first thing is all of these Kai scissors are 20% off. All that pricing you saw that came up with the ticker with the code 40 years. So that is one. The second is, Mike, where do they find this product on the website?
Yes, if you go right to our homepage, there's actually a banner on the homepage, and then there's a link that's going to take you to all these products. You just want to make sure you're using that 40 years checkout code when you decide to check them out. But click on that banner, and it'll take you to all the products. It should be pretty easy. If you have trouble, we have a great chat function on the lower corner of the site, and Emily would be happy to help you.
Yeah, it's a real person that even answers our chat.
It's a real person.
Yep.
It's not an AI robot.
Not an AI robot.
We promise.
And the other thing is, when you get to that landing page, the top has the schedule of what we're doing each day, and it will have links to yesterday's content as well. And then if you keep scrolling down, it has all of the products. So it'll first have machines, and then you keep going, there'll be a whole section called Kai, and we tried to lump them together for you, so that way it's easier for you to find what we have been talking about in each of these segments, and you don't have to search the whole website. But all means, our search function on the website is also good, and you could search any of those numbers. Do you have Kai blades in the store? Yes.
We do, absolutely, yes.
Yes, we do. One of the other questions, yes, and the discounts, Toby, thank you for reminding us, are also available in store. If you just present that 40-year code in the store, they're going to give you the 20% off these products as well. The other thing about the rotary cutters, we did have a question about sizes. So in the video, we had the 60 millimeter rotary cutter. This is the 45 millimeter rotary cutter, and then Kai does also make a 28 millimeter rotary cutter. So those are like the 3 standard sizes, and Kai does make each of those. Is the roller work for left-handed people? So it is designed to be left or right-handed. At least for sure the blue ones, the 45 and the 60, these are designed to be right or left-handed. Quilter Select also makes a really beautiful rotary cutter that you can put the blade on either side. Once again, also designed to be left or right-handed. So you're good to go on that. What is the best for cutting minky type fabric? Well, I think there's a lot of different things. I think that sometimes the serrated could be nice because it's going to hold it a little bit better and grab it. I do love the serrated scissors because they have, if I open this one up here, they have that extra little edge on the blade. That is so nice.
Yeah. Because
it helps if you're doing with slippery fabric, and they're actually called patchwork, which are also nice for quilting. But you can see, you probably can't see it, but there is a serrated, well, you can run your finger on it in the store. Like, don't cut yourself.
Yeah.
No cutting, but you can, it's serrated right.
It's there.
Yes, Mike is confirming. It is there. And so that will really help hold those sorts of slippery fabrics. And then you can just hear them. They're so nice. You can just always tell good scissors.
They have a quality feel to them.
Yeah.
You know, absolutely.
And do we have various cover protectors in the store as well? Yes, we should have them. If not, you can order them online. We have the small ones that are on the lanyard, and then there's also the larger ones. But yeah, that was something that I actually didn't really know. I didn't really realize how important it is to keep my scissors covered.
Yeah, neither did I, to be quite honest.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because your knives you want to keep safe in a similar way, which is why you put on a knife block or something. So very interesting. So we want to keep our scissors sharpened.
Yes, you can get your Kai scissors sharpened. In fact, Kai does that for you. And you mail it into Kai, I believe, right?
Yep.
And they sharpen it, and it's free sharpening for the life of the scissors, right?
I think that is accurate. Yeah, I think you just have to pay to ship them there and pay to ship them back.
Yeah.
But they will do the sharpening. So, and what is great about that is that, you know, it's done right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, they're their scissors, they know how to take care of them, they know what to do. Yes, and there is a 28 millimeter rotary cutter that should also be in stores. If we don't have the Kai one, we're going to have a 28 millimeter rotary cutter. I know we have the Quilter Select 28 millimeter rotary cutter in the stores. We may or may not have the Kai one in every store, but once again, you could order on the website and we will get it right to you. Okay, let's see. Any other questions on the Kai scissors?
Yeah, not that I'm seeing.
No. Kai is the best. I agree, Jerry. Oh, you know what? You know what I wanted to do? Should we give away something live?
We probably should. I think a good giveaway.
We should give away, for people who are watching live, I love that you are all live, and I really like to make sure that, you know, I appreciate that you're watching, because it's so much easier for us when we get these questions. It's so much more fun instead of just like talking on a camera and wondering, are people out there? So I love all the comments. So we're going to give away these pretty purple ones, which are those serrated ones we just talked about, because, I mean, they're also purple, and they come with the cover. Which is amazing. So these are regularly $24.99, and this pair is going to go to, I'll let you announce it.
Let's see, we have Ken Aldrich. Congratulations, Ken.
Awesome. Congratulations, Ken. Just message us and we will figure out how to get to you. You can pick them up in a store location, or we can mail them to you if you do not live by one of our stores. So we will add this here. Yeah, so keep watching live, because we will be giving away things live during the presentation today and tomorrow. And also, if you like, comment, and share, you will be entered to win some of the things like this B33 sewing machine or these other goodies.
Lots of good stuff.
Do we have one more question?
Oh, one more?
Unfortunately, the left-handeds do not come in purple. They do come in black. I have them here. There is one of these is the left-handed. Here's the lefty. So they do come in black, and they have two different types of those left-handed scissors like Devon talked about. One that's the true left, and one that is a left that a lot of left-handers actually prefer because they're so used to using right-handed scissors, if that makes sense. So those are both available on the website or in the stores, and you can get that discount using 40 years to get 20% off. Okay, well, if there's no more questions on scissors, I'm gonna pop over here and show you some really fun things on the Bernette 68 and the B08. Bernettes.
See y'all shortly.
One more question. Okay, what do we got? No, you do not need to oil your scissors. They should just be working and lovely. And if you're caring for them, as in like not putting them in water and things, you shouldn't need to oil or anything like that. They should be super easy and work for a super long time. Okay, so I'm gonna pop over here where we have these beautiful machines set up. So Bernette is, I'm gonna move this way, there we go, get my face in here. Bernette is an amazing brand. It's made by Bernina, and they have such amazing value in their machines. And they have one machine that is brand new this year called the B68 Maker, which is the blue, really cute blue serger over here. And then this guy over here, the B08 was released last year, and it is also one of my favorites, and it has been a real top seller for us, and it really fits a niche. And so I want to take some time to go through both of these. So we're going to start with the Bernette 68 serger, and we're going to kick it off with a little video direct from Bernina because it really shows all of the amazing features. And this serger does both cover hem and overedge. So it does everything, right, all in one. I know a lot of us have like a 4-thread serger and you're doing that overedge stitching, right? You can do the overedge stitching, which is what most of our ready-mades and stuff are put together with. But if we really want very professional looking seams, we also want to do the cover hem, which is those 2 stitches across the top, and then the back has that serge stitch. And that's how most of our t-shirts, so much of our ready-made clothing has a cover hem on it. And if we want a very professional look, we want a serger that does cover hem. And sometimes those combination machines can be really expensive. But Bernette has made an amazing machine that has the 3 and 4 thread overedge and has the cover hem, and you guys, it's air threading. Yes, all of it in one, and it comes with this amazing package. So I'm gonna kick it over to the video so you can watch it, and then we will, I'll show you some more little features on it when we come back.
Hello, I'm Julian of Julian Creates, and I'm here today to talk to you about the Bernette 68 Maker Edition. The perfect combination of overlocker or serger, cover stitch machine, and a bunch of accessories to really enliven the maker in you. With the B68 Maker Edition, you also get a wonderful set of accessories, and you get a special set of tools, including our presser foot set. This comes with presser feet for both cover stitch as well as overlock and seam guide. And with this bundle, you get this Bernette branded vacuum cleaner so that you can clean out your machines after every project. So one of the great things about having a combo machine is the combo stitch. This combines both your chain stitch as well as your overlocking stitch, sometimes called a 5-thread safety stitch. This makes the B68 Maker ideal for working with stretch or woven fabrics. You can sew jersey shirts or hoodies with professional looking hems in no time. One of the great things about the B68 is that it is an air thread, meaning that you can easily thread your machine, not having to worry about any of the loopers, but also still having a color-coded path, making it easy to thread each and every time. With micro thread control, you have a reliable assistant, giving you a professional finish. Through a little flip of a switch, you can easily control how the loops are rounding around the edge of your fabric, giving you a great look. Also, when you open up the cover, you get a full set of tools, including tweezers, your needle set, and your needle changer. And Bernette offers great tutorials for both the expert as well as the beginner. So check out the QR codes available in your box if you need inspiration or want some help on how to use your machine. So now that you've learned more about the Bernette 68 Maker Edition, it's time for you to go check out your dealer so that you can learn more about this machine and check it out and try it out for yourself. I feel that you will find that it will enliven the maker in you.
Okay, we're back, and we are the dealer, so we can help you with all of your serger needs. So isn't that amazing what that serger can do? Yes, Alice, I agree. You have to have an air threader. So the reason why you really want an air threading serger is because it makes it easier to thread. So if you have never had a serger, or maybe you have a closet serger, because it has happened to many of us where we have an older serger, or we've had one for 15 years, it sat in the closet because it was sort of hard to use, and every time you would get it out, it just was hard to thread. The reason for that is that sergers have a different operation than a sewing machine. So they have needles that come down, and then they have loopers that go like this, and that's what forms the stitch. So like right now here, I'm gonna sew this out real quick because I have it doing that cover hem, which is that stitch I was talking about earlier. Gotta go this way where I can get to my cutter. There we go. This is what happens when you're live. Finding your cutter is not as easy as it should be. Okay, so here, this is the cover hem, and you can see that. In fact, I'll put it down here. Do you love the lighting on this machine or what? Like, look how bright it is. It's really amazing. So if I put it actually in this light, you can see it here. So you can see that the cover hem is the 2 stitches on top, and then it is all of that overlocking on the bottom. And this is what is on most of our ready-made clothing, right? And it is such a great stitch to have. And what's awesome about the B68, it does that, and it's going to do those over edge stitching. I'm going to pull this over here. The over edge stitching like this, so you can do all of your garment construction. You know, you can even use a serger for quilting. There are, like for piecing, there's a ton of different applications for a serger. And I always sort of equate it to be like a microwave. Like it's a little faster than using our regular sewing machine, because when it is serging like this, it's also cutting off our seam allowance. So that is amazing, and it's great for anything stretchy. And then the other cool thing, while we have it zoomed in here, is it can also do the rolled hem. So here is a cute little rolled hem. This is like a 2 or a 3 thread rolled hem that has, where you just can go right on the edge. It's great for little decorative things like this, for napkins. There's so many different uses for a little rolled hem, for making a scarf. Any of that good stuff. So another one of the cool things that sergers can do. But let's get back to talking about what makes this serger a little different with its air threading. So I'm going to open it up so you can see in here. And the way that this serger, and you saw it in the video, but you know, a serger has loopers here and this needles, and that's what forms the stitch. And it used to be getting to these loopers to thread them, you would like have to get upside down on your head. It was really hard. And now with this machine, you just lay your thread in, you hit the little button and you can hear it, it's a little whoosh, and it threads those loopers for you. So it takes out all of that, you know, difficulty with an older serger. And I know someone did ask, we do take trade-ins. So if you have an older serger and you're like, wow, I need air threading, you can trade in your current serger and get some money off towards one of our newer sergers that has air threading, which is awesome. So let's just talk about a couple more of the features of this guy. So it has the 5 threads, it does 2, 3, 4, and 5 thread stitch operations. It also has a free arm, which is a pretty awesome feature. Not all sergers have that, but it really helps you get in there. And then it comes with an extension table. If I can get this guy on here, line it up without quite seeing it. There we go. So you have all of this nice workspace. And then, like you saw in the video, it comes with this amazing foot set. Now, what I love about this presser foot set, like the number one thing that I like the very most, is that seam guide. The seam guide is awesome because now it is going to hook right here onto the front of the machine, and then you can make sure that you are sewing straight. Oh, sorry, let me get it where it needs to be here. That it is sewing straight, that you are, you know, actually doing what you're supposed to. And then it also comes with these other feet. It has an that's the overlock fabric guide. There's the cover stitch fabric guide, the hemmer foot, the standard presser foot with the clear sole, the blind stitch foot, the elasticator foot, the piping foot, and the gathering foot, which is awesome because with the differential feed that this serger has, it makes it really easy to gather. And I love that it comes as a complete package, and it even has this little book here that shows you the pictures of each of those feet, and then it tells you how to use them. Like, how great is that? It makes it so easy. And that's one of the things that Bernina and Bernette does such a great job with. They make it super easy for you to use their products. They want to make sure that they have it's super functional, which is awesome. So not only does this serger come with all of those things, it also is coming with the little vacuum, which I love because it's way better to suck out all of that business because when you're cutting fabric, as you might imagine, this gets pretty linty and pretty dusty. And so this guy comes with this very cute, I love all the blue, right? Like how fun is all that? It comes with this guy as well, plus all the other accessories. It also has, when you're not in cover hem, and it does have the little tray here as well, so you can catch all those bits of fabric. And it's blue, which I know I keep saying, but I love it. And this guy, right now, it is on sale for only $24.99. You heard me right. You get this entire serger that has the 3/4 thread overedge, that has the cover hem, all of that, has the air threading, all for only $24.99. And then we even have a better deal than that. Give us a call or come into a store location and we have a special 40th anniversary sale. And it wouldn't be an anniversary deal without something free. So I am also throwing in this really fun creative serging set. This has some beautiful, I don't know if I'm going with the blues here, right? We gotta have some blues to match our blue serger, but it comes with some great serger thread and some specialty thread that can be really fun to use. So it comes with all of that as part of our anniversary special. So awesome. If you've been thinking about a serger, this guy is just a great value. And I just love the package. It's awesome. Question. Are the videos on how to thread, are there? Yes, there are videos on how to thread this machine. One of the things that Bernina does super well is if you have any Bernina machine and you go to their YouTube channel, they have a lot of videos, like the 990 that you saw yesterday, right? They have an entire video series on how to use that machine. They have a series on how to thread the machine, how to use the machines. There is a lot of great content right on the Bernina YouTube channel. And then we at Quality Sewing also teach a free learn to use your serger class, whether it be manual threading or air threading. And that is available at any of our store locations. And get this, you don't have to have bought the machine from us. No matter when or where you got the machine, we will teach you how to use it. So if you do have an old serger in your closet and you're like, well, I just want to make sure, maybe this serger looks amazing, but come in for a class. We can show you how to use it and you can decide if it's time to upgrade to a new serger or if the one you have is going to work for you now that you know how to use it. Okay, we are super happy to help. Do you need to use special threads? So Karen, generally what you use on a serger is you use, this is the Madeira Aero Lock thread, and it is a polyester blend, and it is a lot like the Aerofill construction thread. It's a little bit different weight. And generally you're going to use something that's in a large cone, and generally you're just gonna use one color. If you're just like oftentimes I use gray, right? Because you can use gray for something dark, something light, and you're not gonna see it. Now, if I'm doing cover hem or something, then yes, I'm gonna wanna make sure that those top two threads are the color of my fabric, and I'm gonna change it, but generally I'm gonna use not a specialty thread. Now you can use a specialty thread if you want. So for example, in this rolled hem, they used a fun variegated thread, right? And that fun variegated thread, that camera just went out. Maybe we'll flip to the other camera again. The fun variegated thread would be a fun thing to do. You can also use specialty threads to make it really fun and add a little bit of interest when you're serging. So those are just sort of like with your sewing machine, you can choose to use fun thread or you can choose to use standard thread when you're just putting something together. You have both options. But because of the way the loopers work, you can do all sorts of interesting things with the thread going into the loopers because it can handle thread that's a little thicker. On the B68, you have to change the setup for cover stitch, and how long does it take to do that? Yes, you do have to change it. But what's cool about these air threading machines is it doesn't matter which order you thread needles or loopers in. So in previous machines, you had to do it exactly in the right order, and if you didn't, the whole machine, you couldn't get it to thread. Now, it doesn't matter which order you do it in, but yes, you do have to change your needle position to do cover hem. Right now it's set up for cover hem, and if I was gonna switch back to over edge, I would change to the different needle position, and then I would change to different loopers. because that is, in order to do cover hem, the machine actually needs 2 different needle positions and needs a different looper. So there's actually 3 loopers on this guy because it can do all of those stitch functions, but it's very easy. The book shows you how. They also have a nice little guide like right in here. We can't see it because of the little table there, but there's a guide right here as well and tells you what to do. And because it's air threading, it's super easy. Do you need to, nope, you do not need to use all 5 threads. You can, if you want to do a 5-thread stitch function, like a 5-thread safety or something. But generally, like right now I'm only using 3 threads, but I just leave the other 2 up there because they're just hanging out. They can just stay there until I'm ready to use them. Do you need to use special needles for this? Yes, you are going to use a serger needle for this machine, and those are super readily available. Okay, any other questions? I think we're good on this. Okay, so let's move over to the Bernette 08. So this guy right here is a high-speed machine. So this could be a high-speed quilting machine. It can be high-speed for doing like really thick stuff. Like Reva made, her husband needed some upholstery stuff done, and like look how thick this is. She did this on this machine. And you can hear it here as we, like if I start stitching, I mean, listen to that, right? It just purrs because it is a high-speed straight stitch machine. So first we're gonna get a quick overview. We're gonna kick over to a video that shows sort of the whole idea of how you can use this machine and some of its amazing features. Isn't that amazing? So I love this machine for a lot of reasons. So it is a high-speed straight stitch machine, meaning it's not gonna do zigzag, it's not gonna do like a buttonhole or something. But if you are like, if you do a lot of piecing, if you maybe make bags and you need to be able, lots of bags, and like it's sometimes hard for your machine to get through all of that thickness, this is a super high-powered machine that is going to have no problem going through webbing, through thick fabrics, that kind of things. So I just wanted to talk through briefly like what some of the features are. So it has a really nice throat open space, and you saw there in the video where she first did her piecing, right? And then she put her big quilt and put it all through here. But because you have this nice tall opening, part of what's great about this opening is not only is it wide, but it's also tall. So you can get your quilt in there. It comes with this lovely extension table, and the extension table even has a little flip up here. So that way it makes it really easy to get to your bobbin, because your bobbin is on the side on this machine. And then speaking of the bobbin, this bobbin, I'll put it down here, is big. This is a bigger bobbin than a standard bobbin. And so what's great about that is you have more thread, which is always great because who wants to run out of thread? I know I don't. So that is awesome. And then it also has some really nice ease of use features. So it has the needle up, needle down right here, which is great. It also has thread cutters, which is like my favorite. And then, and I guess I should have showed that here, but it also has the knee lift. So if you are really sitting here and quilting, so I'll try to stay out of it here so you can see. If I'm sewing and then I want to stop, I can lower that needle, right? And turn my corner and keep my hands on my fabric. And this guy just boogies. You can just hear how fast it is, how smooth it is. You've got the nice big reverse here. You can of course adjust your stitch length, and you do have your pressure here as well. So that way, if you want to if you're sewing something that's really thick, you really have some adjustments. This guy is awesome. It is on sale right now at $22.99, and it is just an amazing high-speed machine. We have so many customers who've purchased it over this last year and absolutely love it. It's one of my team's favorite high-speed straight stitch machines because it is so durable. It's such a workhorse. It can do the really thick fabrics. Like when you're doing bag making and stuff and you have to buy Annie's bags, you know, all those layers, right? And then on webbing and things, and then also it is great for quilting. So that is the story here on the Bernette 08. And of course, right now with our anniversary sale, we do have a special price on this machine that is just during this anniversary sale because we're celebrating our 40th year. So we have special deals on everything. Even machines that we're not talking about, we have special deals on those. So if you've been thinking about something, you know, come into the store, give us a call, and we have a special. But that is not all. I'm also throwing in, because like I said before, it's an anniversary special. We got to have some free goodies, right? So I'm also throwing in this really great Arrow quilt pack, because since this guy has this nice tall stand here, you can just put one really large spool, so you get lots of beautiful thread. These are really just great solid colors, and this is coming free with the BO8 right now as well. Questions? Does it take a special bobbin? Yes, it does take this metal bobbin. It is a metal bobbin. There's a couple of different brands of this bobbin, but it is it's actually metal and is definitely different than the standard bobbin that would be in maybe your embroidery machine or something, and different than the other Bernina machines. It is similar, yes. Is it similar to industrial machine? 100%. This is really built sort of on that industrial machine idea. It's for the home user, so it's not a true industrial machine, but it is much more like an industrial machine. That's part of the reason why the foot is really narrow. It's part of the reason why it sews so fast and it has that like hum about it, very much like an industrial machine, because industrial machines can sew a lot faster and they can sew through really thick stuff, and this guy can do all of those good things as well, but it's not giant, which is nice. Can you drop the feed dogs and do free motion? Yes, you can do free motion on this machine as well. Let's see, what other questions do we have?
Somebody else with 20% off.
The machines are not, someone asked if it's 20% off. The machines are not 20% off, but there is a special price on this machine. So give us a call or come into the store and we can let you know that as well.
Do you know how heavy it is?
I do not know how heavy this is, but we can find that out. Okay, well, thank you, everybody. So we are going to hop over here. Reva has a great presentation on the new Pfaff 725 and 750. These are amazing new machines just released from Pfaff. So let's go see Reva and check those machines out.
I am so excited to share with you the brand new machines from Pfaff. So this is the Pfaff Creative Expression 750, and it is an amazing sewing machine and an amazing embroidery machine. So let's take a look at it just real quick. It has 10 inches from the needle to the inside of the arm, and look at all that wonderful lighting. It just really is going to help illuminate what you're working on so well. It has quick access buttons for things like needle down, the presser foot up and down, thread cutter, tie off, and reverse, and you can even sew without using a foot pedal if you want to. So that's pretty cool. Now, another thing that's really great about this machine is the fact that it has a needle threader. So I'll put that there so maybe you can see a little bit better. I'll put the foot down, and then I'm going to just, right here, this lever on the side, just push that down, and look, it automatically threads the needle for me, which is really, really awesome. Now, one of the things that makes a sewing machine a joy to use is how good of a stitch it makes. Well, this has something called a dual feed. So you see the feed dogs on the bottom, okay? And on top, look at that. I was just able to engage the dual feed for the top. Now, Pfaff is the one that invented the dual feed, and this feed dog, you see, has those nice little teeth on it. It actually feeds the fabric both forward and backwards, so you get even feeding of both layers of fabric at the same time. So I'm going to disengage it, which you could do when you're doing, decorative stitches and such, but I'm going to disengage it just for a moment so you can see how it makes a difference. So right now, this is like any sewing machine. We're sewing along, but we're only using the bottom feed dogs. So what that can do is cause your fabric to shift. So one piece becomes shorter than another, or it can cause puckering. So let's take a look at how it did. So this is like we get on any sewing machine. When you sew a seam, a lot of times you have these little wibbles and you press those out. You use an iron and you press them out. Well, the challenge is that when you do that and you launder the item, these little wrinkles can come back. Okay. And the reason why is the bottom the feed dogs on the bottom are drawing the bottom layer of fabric through, but the top layer is resistant because there's nothing feeding that through. So let's put on our dual feed and let's do the seam again and just go ahead and stitch a seam. And you're going to see a nice difference between the first seam and the second seam because that dual feed actually brings the top layer and the bottom layer through at the same time. So look at even how much smoother this is than this is. And of course, it's remarkably different on the back side. So you're going to love stitching with the dual feed. Now, another thing that makes this machine really unique is the fact that it has some top of the line features. This is a midline machine, but it has features on it that are really only found on the top most expensive machine in the line. So let's take a look at one of those right now. And that is, let me close this off. We have on the screen, it shows us which foot should be used on the machine for a stitch. And if I change to a different stitch, it's going to change to a different foot that should be used. It even tells me if stabilizer needs to be used. And if you look at this right here, this foot it's listed in red. That's because this machine has AI. It actually sees that I have the 0A foot on, and it's letting me know in red that that is not the proper foot. So let's go ahead and we're going to switch the feet, and I want to show you how that changes. So we'll just put that number 2 foot on, and let's see. Put my foot down, put it back up. There it goes. Now it's not giving me that message because it knows it has the correct foot on the machine. So that's really, really an amazing top of the line feature. Now I'm going to go back to a basic straight stitch. And I should show you this. This is really cool. You can actually customize and place your menus wherever you want them to go. And if I close this, notice that the stitch comes back. This is the true size of the stitch, and you can do things like mirror image, and you can change your length and the width right on the machine, which was really cool. Okay, so we're going to go back just to a basic straight stitch, and I want to show you something really pretty cool with this. So I'm just going to throw this fabric back underneath there. Now, you know how when machines came out with the needle down button, and we're like, oh, yeah, I don't need that. But then now you can't live without it, or the thread cutter button. Love that. This is the next best thing that a sewing machine has, and that is the laser guidance. So we'll just touch a button right here, and we're going to turn on the laser light. And look at that. We have a laser guide for center needle position, or maybe we want to move it just a little bit to the left or to the right, or a lot to the left or right. So you can make this anywhere you want it to go, which is really cool. And in fact, let's take it. I'm going to set mine at 1/4 inch. And so I could use this if I was doing my seaming and just set it over here and get a perfect, let's do it that way so we don't have the stitches in the way. Now I can sew, and I know that I have a 1/4 inch seam just because I'm guiding it with that laser guide. So this is just so amazingly useful. And I think this is the thing that's going to be that next thing that we can't live without on our machines because it's so handy. Imagine never having to mark your half square triangles again, or getting that bias binding perfectly stitched together. This is so cool. Okay, so now let's take a look at a couple of the things. I'm going to turn that off for right now, and let's go in and let's just quickly look at our different stitches. So we have a lot of different stitches in the machine. In fact, you have category, main category, this is satin, and then you have 3 subcategories for satin stitches. But you've got a lot of different stitches in here. Now, let's take a look at some of the stitches that you have. Now, this machine is a 9mm capable machine. So that means it can do 9mm from left to right. So here is, excuse me, here are some decorative stitches that I've done using the 9mm, and I love doing the stitch stacking to create something beautiful. The machine also has the ability for you to change the look of a stitch. So this is the original stitch here, and this part was deleted to create that stitch. So you can customize every stitch in the machine, and you can even make your own from scratch. Another thing that's really cool, let's go back to, I guess we could just see, what do we got here? Let's go look at some fun stitches. Well, I'll just go to get a satin stitch. This will be easier for me to show you something really cool. You actually can customize your stitches, and I'm going to make that one wider, and you can taper every single stitch in the machine. So if you take a look here, we have all these different angles, and I want to do I'm going to do a 45-degree angle. So this is pretty cool. So if we take this and we're going to do a stitch, and I have my needle down activated, which is really pretty cool, and I'm going to go ahead and start stitching, and it starts at the point, and then it works its way out to the full width, and then when you're ready to turn your corner, you just tap your reverse key, and it will take it down to the tip again. Stop with the needle down, and all you do is have to rotate your fabric and start sewing again, and it's going to start at that tip and then work its way out, and then we're going to have a beautifully mitered corner. And you can do this with every single 9mm stitch in the machine, which is fabulous, whether it be a decorative stitch or a standard stitch. Look at that. Imagine how beautiful you can make corners with applique. You can use it for your quilt binding and do a decorative stitch. It's really, really cool. Okay, so we have that. Now, another thing I should show you, because I don't want to be remiss in showing you the really cool stuff, right? I'm going to go back to a basic straight stitch, and look, it says I have that fancy foot on, so I'm going to go ahead and take my fancy stitch foot off, and I'll put back on my regular foot, and these just snap on and off, which is really pretty handy, but I did get the thread caught under there, so let's move that out of the way. Okay, and then I'm going to put my dual feed back on. So I want to show you how beautifully this stitches no matter what you're sewing on. So this is pretty common for us to have to hem jeans, right? Whether we want to or not. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch my stitch. And then this is really cool because when you get about here and the foot starts tipping, that's normally where you get your needle breaks and such, but now that dual feed is working like a little 4-wheel drive. So it's actually moving that fabric up and over, or the foot up and over the fabric with no issue. Now, without changing any settings, I went to a very sheer, fine fabric, and you're going to notice that we don't have any puckering or anything like that. So absolutely beautiful the way this machine sews. And really, that's the point of a machine, is getting all those great stitches and the great results, right? So now let's take a look back at some of the other fun decorative stitches that we have. We talked about the 9mm stitch width, but look at all the fun stuff here. These are all built-in stitches, and this one is actually called a ribbon stitch. And how it works, it's really pretty cool, is the machine will stitch, and then it stops, and it asks you to fold the ribbon over, and then it does the decorative stitch, and then it will stop and have you fold the ribbon back the other direction. So you get beautiful stitches with the ribbon stitches. Then we also have stitches like the floating stitches, and I love these. Look at how cool that is. So these satin stitches have no stitches in between because it actually, the way they stitch, they don't show, and so it looks like the stitches are just floating there, and that's really spectacular. And then there's some more stitches in here you might like to see. So we've got some of the floating stitches here. We've got decorative stitches. And then look at these ribbon stitches. Aren't they just absolutely fabulous. So those are so much fun. Now you notice here that these were all stitched with metallic threads, and metallic threads can be really persnickety, right? In fact, sometimes they're more argumentative than anything else. So this machine does have something else that's a top of the line feature that is going to help you sew with whatever thread you want to stitch with. And that is a secondary tension system. So let's take a look. And this is meant to come off, and so it's meant so if you have a thread that gets caught in there, you can get it out. But you notice here's your normal tension system here. So when we put the foot down, the tension, to see how that tightened up, I'll raise it up and show you. See how that's loose, but when you put the foot down, it's tight. So you thread the machine normally, like on any machine, and the tension disc tighten around the thread, and it pinches the thread to keep it from going too quickly through the machine. And that's how you get your stitches. Well, if you're working with a decorative stitch or something like that, you may need special concessions. And that is what these 3 rollers right here are. See them? They look like little cylinders. These will roll out the thread based on the stitch you've chosen. So if you have chosen a specific decorative stitch like one of these, the machine knows, aha, you need a certain amount of thread to form that stitch. And so instead of pulling it through, they turn and deliver out the proper amount of thread. Then when you put the presser foot down, the machine can tell if your fabric is thick or thin, and it will adjust the amount of thread based on that. And then it also can tell where the needle and the bobbin thread join. So if need be, it will give you a little bit more thread, or it will hold it back. So you're going to get perfect stitching no matter what type of thread you're using, even if you're doing the mylar threads like this. Now this was done in the embroidery, and I'll show you the embroidery in a minute, but look, using that mylar thread in the bobbin and in the needle, it still stitches out beautifully, and there was no thread breaks. So the thread metering, that's an amazing feature that usually is on the top of the line machine. So let's take a look real quick at embroidery. Well, I should put this back on, shouldn't I? So it just sets on the top and then just clicks into place. So I'm going to take off the accessory tray and set it off to the side, and I won't need the dual feed. So I'll raise my foot up, and I'm going to take my little foot off, and then we're going to slip this in. Now, the machine does come with a couple of different embroidery feet. It has a snap-on that looks like this, and then it also has one that you screw in, which is great. But let's take a look at another feature in here. So I'm going to come over. I'm still in the sewing mode, but I'm going to go up to my main menu and say embroidery, and then it's going to calibrate that embroidery unit and get it right in the right spot. And I have it kind of crooked there, so I'll straighten him up so I don't hit the wall there. But here's our work area, and we have our edit tools. You can even custom create an applique. You can create a shape. You can even you can bring every stitch from the sewing machine over here. So you can even sew out your buttonholes in the embroidery if you want to. But we're going to go in here, and there's lots of different designs that are built in. And of course, you can use a USB stick to add more designs, or you can send things wirelessly because the machine is Wi-Fi. And on the design, you probably noticed the little handles around the outer edge. So they're going to do what you expect. So you can touch and you can make it bigger or smaller. You can touch the little circle, and then that's going to allow you to rotate so you can get your design exactly how you want it to go. And if you're tired of it, you can just touch and hold and then just say delete. We can even go over and get lettering. So there's lots of letters to choose from. I'm just going to choose a block, and I'm going to type in, let's say, I don't know, let's just do flower. That makes me happy. Flower, and ta-da, I've got flower on my screen. And you can do the same thing, change the size, you can rotate. But what if we want to add it into our embroidery? I want to put that on here. Well, how do we know if it's in the right spot? Well, that's easy on this machine because it's another top of the line feature. I only know the other machines that have this feature are the top of the line from Brother, Baby Lock, and Bernette, and Pfaff and Viking. So let's take a look what we can do. I'm going to go to my hoop options because I want to verify that I have my 120 by 120 hoop. And if you notice, look at all the hoop options you have for this machine, which is pretty awesome. But yes, I do have the 120 chosen, so that's perfect. But there's also this nice little button right here that says scan hoop. That's right. This machine can take a picture of what's in the hoop, and it'll display it right on the screen so you can see exactly where your design is going to go. This is great if you're working with a shirt with a pocket or another design that you want to coordinate with. So what the machine is doing is it is taking a little photograph of the different areas of the hoop, and it's going to display it right on the screen so we can visually place our design exactly where we want it to go. So let's take a look there. There's our design, and we can say go away, and now look at that. We can place our words exactly where we want them visually. So now you know that you're going to get your embroidery exactly where you want it to go, no matter what you have going on. No need to stress about getting things hoop straight because you can fix it right on the machine. So this is the Pfaff Creative Expression 750. It is a sewing and embroidery machine, and it is absolutely fabulous. I know you're going to love it. Now, Carmen has a great deal because there's wonderful specials on this machine that she's going to talk about for our anniversary sale. But if you love the sewing features of this machine and you're not interested in embroidery, the 725 is the sewing only version that you're going to love because it's a dedicated sewing and quilting machine. It's the Quilt Expression 725. If you want the wonderful machine with embroidery, it's the Creative Expression 750. So Carmen has great bundles and deals on these machines for our anniversary sale. So let's go see what she has to say about the specials you can get on this machine.
Hi everybody. So I am standing here with the beautiful Pfaff 750, and both the Pfaff 750 and the 725 are brand new this year, and they have some really amazing features. And like you could like some of the stuff that I don't know if Reva showed this one, but all of the cute little all the cute decorative stitches. Here we have a garment that a team member here made that has, look, these are all the little decorative flowers that were all made on the machine, all through the whole thing. Like, how adorable is that? I love all the different things you can do. I mean, it matches. Look at this. It matches the cave guy right there. How fun is that? You could put it all together. Everything is flowers. Very fun. So right now, this machine, we have an amazing special on the 750. It is much better than the pricing you are seeing on the website. We got a special purchase for this event for the 725 and the 750, and the price is just too good for me to tell you about it, but the price is phenomenal for the 40th anniversary sale. So you're going to want to give us a call, or you're going to want to come into one of our store locations to get that special price. But we have an amazing special price on the 750 that has the embroidery or just the sewing features, the 725. So give us a call or come into the store because it is awesome. Okay, now we have a question.
Oh, wait, that's not the question. Right here.
Is the pricing good through Saturday? Yes, it is. Cindy, all of the pricing we are talking about is good through October 18th. And we have all of these specials through October 18th because if you have noticed, we are having a one-day sale at the stores on October 18th, and sort of the culmination of this big event. All the offers expire October 18th, so you have time to come in, make the decision, see the machines in person, all of that good stuff. But we have all of these specials, and we even have one-day special pricing that my team already has now for all of these machines, all of the machines in the store, so you can get a very special deal as a thank you as we celebrate our 40th anniversary. And then all the notions that we've been talking about, you use that code 40 years to get 20% off on the website, or bring that code into any store location and you will get the 20% off those notions there as well. Great question. Okay, so next, Mike has always liked vacuums. Now, when he was younger, you know, he started out fixing vacuums, right? But, you know, we also used Mike a couple of times as our model for some marketing. So we're going to throw a photo up. There's Mike back in, you know, I don't know, the late 80s, early 90s. Sometime 92. Okay, and there he is holding. Now that is a Royal. We sold a lot of those big metal vacuums, and he's showing how light it is because he can lift it up. So today he is going to show us not the Royal, but the new Riccar R70 that does both vacuuming and mopping all in one. It is brand new. It was just released. We are so in love with it. So here is Mike to show that to you.
Hey everyone, all right. The vacuums have gotten a little bit lighter. You can see still the same R as before. The photo there was a Royal vacuum. This is a Riccar vacuum. So, but again, sticking with the R series. But yeah, this is the new R70. It's a wet vac and dry vac, only one. So in all the years I've been doing this, we've actually never had a product quite like this. So it's really, really cool. I'll show you a couple things about it here. And again, it's really light actually. But this is, let me see if you can see this okay. Let's see here. I'm going to turn it on here. What you can see, before I turn it on, I just kind of want to give you the lay of the land for what we're looking at here. So it's a wet dry vacuum. We actually have a clean water tank right up front here, and this is where you're going to put in your
Did you touch the button?
Let's see here. Does that sound better now, everyone? Can you hear me okay? Okay, fantastic. You may have missed the start of it. I understood I have a technical difficulty with my microphone. So in case you missed what I was talking about, this is the Riccar R70. It's a hardwood floor cleaner as well as a vacuum cleaner. And so, as I mentioned a second ago, most of the time you have to vacuum your floors before you actually steam them and clean them. Now you can do it simultaneously. So I'm going to turn this on here. We're going to start vacuuming along.
Auto mode.
And what it's doing here is I can actually use a spray function here, and it's going to spray the hardwood floor. It's kind of hard to see from the camera, but you actually don't need to hit that button all the time. As I vacuum along here, it's actually emitting a very small amount of liquid onto the floor as I go along here, because one of the easiest mistakes that people make when they are using a hardwood floor cleaner is they use way too much liquid. And so on this, it actually has an automatic mode where it's going to emit the liquid automatically for you. And so it's going to guarantee that you're not going to have the temptation to hit that button too much. So, other thing I'll show you here, really nice. It actually has two different hardwood floor brushes. These are counter rotating brushes, and they're very easy to get into and take them off and clean. The device also has a self-cleaning mode, and so when I put it back in the dock here at the end of the video, you'll actually get to see that it actually goes into a self-cleaning mode where it dries these. It actually uses a solution to clean them to make sure that when you put it away, it's actually clean the next time you want to go use it. Because I think we've all probably had shampooers and cleaners in the past that you use it one time, you stick it in the closet, and you come back 3 months later and it's all sticky and gooey and you don't want to use it again. Well, on this, it self-cleans itself at the end of the use, and so you're not going to have that issue. A couple other things I want to show to you here. It's really very versatile. So let's say, you have your hardwood floor cleaner down below here, but let's say you're going along and you see some other debris. It's actually a hand vac as well. And so I can turn this on here, and they have great hand vac suction. On the front here, it might be hard to see, but I can walk up really, really close here on this camera, and it actually shows you the percentage of the battery, which I think is really, really cool. And there's actually a way you can turn this into a standard vacuum. So there's an accessory set available that now you have your hardwood floor cleaner, but now it actually converts into a stick vacuum. So we can actually vacuum the floor here. Gets really low underneath things. It's very low profile here. And it also has that turbo mode that's going to give you additional suction. So if you have a really nasty area on the carpet, it can get that up for you. There's also some really cool accessories with this, so I just want to point these out to you here. One of my favorite accessories, and I think this is the first time I've seen this on any vacuum, it has a crevice tool, and the crevice tool actually has a light on it. And so if you're getting in tight on areas here, it's kind of hard to sell, it actually will shine a light on what you're looking at. And so if you have cat fur or cat litter, which we have a lot of in my house, I have 2 big fluffy cats and there's cat fur everywhere, and sometimes you need a light to kind of see that really fine tuft of fur. So really, really handy to have that light on there. The other thing, let me pull this off here. The other thing they have, which is, it might be good for someone, this is actually a special brush that it's like a cat brush, okay? And so you can brush your dog or your cat. Now, I don't know about you, my cats would never actually let me vacuum them, but I think there are dogs out there that might allow it. So, but they have this brush here, so I thought that was kind of funny. But I've talked to a few customers that actually their dogs do allow them to use this, but again, my cats, I'm not sure I'd try it with your cat.
Questions?
We have questions here. Okay. How long does the battery last? About 20 minutes on the turbo mode, up to 40 minutes on the automatic mode. Great question. And of course it has a rechargeable battery. You're not putting replacement batteries in all the time. You just recharge it. And once it gets, there are some stick vacs out there that if you leave them on the charger all the time, it's not really great for the battery. On this, it's smart enough to know once it reaches 100%, it's going to stop charging. And so you can leave it on the charger all the time. Another question, what's the capacity of the dust liquid bin? So, great question. The capacity, I would say, I don't know the exact, let me get back to you on a comment with the exact quarts or cups that it holds in here, but you can see your dirty water tank goes to here. So, we're talking, I would say it's probably 5 cups of liquid or so is what your dirty water capacity is. And then your clean water tank, let me just pop this off here, is down below. And this is plenty of liquid to do 2,000 square feet of hardwood floors is what it's rated for. So the exact amount of liquid is, I don't know the exact amount, but you put literally a top, a cap full of this cleaning liquid into the clean water, and it's rated to do 2,000 square feet of hardwoods. So, but the exact amount that is, I don't know offhand. Great question.
Another question?
Another question. Does it have a hand attachment for carpeted stairs? Yes, it does. Let's actually get into that here. So there's a hand attachment. You can see if I turn this on, there's actually a brush here. Okay, and it's a motorized brush. It's not an air-driven brush, so it's great for carpeted stairs. It would also be really good for your car to get because it's a really kind of small size, and so most power heads would be much larger. So if you're in a car, it's not very handy. This is a perfect size for a car. So, and not only do I have 2 cats, I also have a 6-year-old, and my car needs constant vacuuming because the snacks get absolutely everywhere. So this would be a perfect solution for it. Let's see, any other questions coming through on the chat there?
Let me know if
Does the unit come with an extra battery? No, it does not. You certainly could purchase an extra battery if you needed one, but it's just going to come with the one battery. Good question. and they can use the mop function on low pile carpet. I wouldn't use the mop function on low pile carpet because it's not really, while it does have suction and heat, I would be nervous adding any moisture to carpet anytime, and anytime you're using that the hardwood floor cleaning function, it's going to be adding moisture, so I wouldn't recommend using it on any type of carpet. And can it be used for engineered hardwoods and dries quickly? Yes. The thing I love about it is on the automatic mode, it emits a very small amount of liquid, and so there's not much liquid to dry. And then two, the heated exhaust from the vacuum is actually directed downwards towards your floor. So it actually has kind of heats and dries as it goes along. So really clever design, and I wouldn't have any concern using it on an engineered hardwood. How long to charge the battery? I think the battery charges fully in about 2 hours if it's fully down to 0.
How does it do with that?
Pet hair, you know, it actually is specifically designed for pets. This is a pet attachment here. They actually call this the pet hardwood floor attachment. The suction level is very good. So when I turn this on here, I can go to max mode, which is going to diminish the battery life a little bit, but it really gives you a ton of suction. I'm not sure the best way to display that via video, but it really does have a tremendous amount of suction. And the nice thing about this container, it's easy just to empty out. So,
To know how do you do that?
yes, absolutely. So on the container here, we're just going to pop it out. It is going to be this button, and there's actually a little filter on here, and then there's a little tab here. So this just pops out here, and you're going to get your debris out there. Okay, so let me pop this back in here. As I put it back on here, you're going to hear it. Listen really closely. A robot's going to talk to us now.
Start charging. Please clean the dirty water tank to avoid odors.
It said, start charging. Please clean dirty water tank to avoid odors. So one of the last things I'll mention to you, it's really smart. So for example, if you start to use the device and there's not enough clean water in the clean water tank, it tells you that. If the battery's running low, it tells you that. It tells you if you're about to do something wrong or if something isn't set up right. So I will say the voice is kind of robotic, but it does give you really handy instructions, and so it makes it easy to use. Can it be used on luxury vinyl plank flooring? Yes, it can. I would have no concern on luxury vinyl plank flooring. In fact, I'm having some installed in my basement, and that's what I plan to use on it. So I think it would be just fine. Playground sand. That might be a tougher one. I don't think I have any problem picking up the sand. I don't think it's going to damage the material, damage the vacuum at all. Sand can be, you know, kind of notoriously difficult to pull out of, so you might have to do a few more. If you're using it on sand, I'd definitely recommend using the turbo mode to give you the max amount of suction, but you're not going to do any harm to the vacuum. It might just take a few more passes to get all the sand. So, yes, machines are getting smart. It's amazing. So thank you. We have some amazing pricing on this right now, and so you'll see on our website we have a sale price for both the R70, and then there's an accessory kit available for it that turns it into a stick vacuum, gives you the turbo brush here, and gives you some of the extra accessory brushes. You have the pet brush, the turbo brush, the dusting brush, as well as a long hose extension, and then this dusting brush, which I forgot to mention. This is amazing for the dash of your car, getting in right kind of where your windshield meets your dash. This is a great little attachment for that. But anyway, the attachment set's an additional price. If you go on the website, you can see it, but actually if you want to call our stores, it's a little bit lower price for the anniversary sale. So certainly put a call into the stores. It'll be a lower price at the store than you even see on the website today. And the question is, I have a hardwood floor in a mobile home. Will it work on them? Absolutely. Yeah, really any hardwood floor. And the nice thing about if you're on a mobile home or a boat or something like that, maybe have fewer outlets. Again, I forgot to mention, I mean, it kind of goes without mentioning, but it's completely cordless. And that just really frees up and really opens up its uses in a lot of different areas. So, and it sounds like we might have a question about financing. And yes, you can finance these. We offer no interest financing options. So via through our website, or you can call the store to learn more. We have several different options. What brand model am I showing? So this is the Riccar R70. And so it's available if you just search R70 on our website, or just call one of the stores and say, hey, I've heard about the Riccar R70. Can you tell me more? They can certainly tell you more. We also have these in all of our store locations. So if you just want to come down and take a look at it in person, I did the best I could to kind of communicate how amazing it is over video, but there really is no substitute for getting your hands on it and playing with it, because even just like the engineering quality of the plastic, sometimes you can tell like cheap plastic versus good quality plastic, and this is the good quality stuff. It just has a nice feel to it, and it's just very well designed.
Awesome.
Okay, here we go. Does the Riccar have as much suction power as the Dyson? I would say so. I haven't done a head-to-head, and I don't believe Dyson has anything that does both the hardwood floor cleaning and dry material cleaning simultaneously. Dysons do have great suction. The Riccar has great suction as well. So I'd say if you have a Dyson, bring it in. We'll do a head-to-head race. That sounds like fun. So.
And then do
The best small vacuum to clean your sewing machine. I mean, this wouldn't be a bad one. Maybe I'm biased because I'm showing this one today. But let me just pop this off here. There we go. Because it actually has this little dusting brush. And so this would be a nice little combo for, so you can see it there. This would be pretty good for your sewing machine. Especially cleaning that areas of the bobbin area. You can also, of course, use that crevice tool. So this would be a good one. I'm trying to think of other vacuums we have available. A lot of people use the Riccar Gem hand vacuum.
Yeah, or we have the Sonic, the little...
Oh, the Sonic.
The little Sonic.
I wasn't even thinking of the Sonic.
Yeah, the little Sonic is amazing. It's a lot like that vacuum that I showed with the Bernette 68, only it's not turquoise, it's white, but it's pretty great. I did just text somebody to see if they can bring it in here and we can show you that, but that is a great vacuum for vacuuming out your sewing machine because it is cordless and you can suck or you can blow with it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we'll show that when it comes in.
And then this,
What about clogging? I've yet to clog it yet. Anything can be clogged, but one thing I will say, for example, on this guy, it's really easy to access the brush roll. So the primary place you're going to have a clog on any vacuum is near the brush here. And on this just pops out.
That's amazing.
And so I don't need any tools whatsoever. And if you're going to have a clog, it's going to be right here. Or right here. So the fact that you can access this without a screwdriver, literally all I did is I pressed this button and it just slides right out. And then you can see if you were to have a clog, it would try to get this to the right angle for the camera. Almost right. It would be right in here. So if you manage to clog it, you could pull it right out here. There's also easy access right here as well. And you can literally see, it's right over here. It'll go down.
there you go, right there.
And you can see how the light gets right through there. So if you were to have a clog, you could just punch something through there like a coat hanger and it would pop it right out. Or use a different vacuum and suck something through there. So
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. This thing is so great. I need one of these for my house. Yeah, awesome.
You can take it home. I'll make you a really good deal on
Will
it.
you? Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, so like Mike said, we have a great deal on the Riccar R70, and it is an amazing vacuum, right? Because you can mop and you can vacuum. I mean, who doesn't need that? So next, we are going to pop over here, and I'm going to show you some different daylight lamps.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Mike. So here we are over here, and I have some different daylight lamps all set up here. So there's a couple of reasons why I love good lighting. I'm going to talk about that first, because You know, when we are sewing, we oftentimes are doing precision work. We are very focused, right? And it's really important for us to be able to see well. Could you guys hear the vacuum? We started charging it.
Odors.
Yep. It is loud, but what's cool about that is you can hear it from across the room, and sometimes it does tell you other things, which is great. It's amazing because it also reminds you of things, right? So you don't accidentally forget to not clean it out, like I might. So anyway, the daylights are amazing because when you have good lighting for your sewing, you can sew longer. There have been a lot of studies around the things that make us fatigue when we're doing precision work. And one of those is actually lighting. And a lot of times the lighting in our homes is this overhead lighting. It is not really zoned into where we're working, and it's also not true like light like daylight. And the reason why daylight is named daylight lamps is because what they are trying to do is bring that natural daylight, right? Bring those color values into your home. So the color value, like all lighting has a value. So some of it is more white, some of it is more true color. Like I'm sure you've noticed that sometimes when you're working on a project, if you take it outside, you can see the colors better and you can sort of see how it's gonna really look altogether better than maybe some lighting in 1 or 2 rooms of your house. The daylight lamp will also resolve that issue. So 1, it helps you sew longer, right? Because your eyes are not getting as fatigued. 2, it helps you just see better. And I think we all need help with that. Helping see better close up or far away. The light is going to help. And then 3, it's also going to help you see the true colors of whatever you are working on. So if you're trying to match colors, if you're just trying to see how it's going to look all together, it's going to look much better with the actual daylight. Exactly, Mary. With winter coming, lighting is definitely a must. Last night I mentioned this earlier, but like I left the office at like 7:15 and it was already dark outside, and I was like, oh man, like where did the light go, right? It's the time of year where if you're trying to sew after work, you don't have any natural daylight, you need some good lighting. So what I have out here is I have 5 of my sort of favorites and some of our top selling daylight lamps. So the first one I'm going to talk about here is the Slim Line 4. Now this light right here, this is clamped onto this table, and this has been one of our best selling lamps. And you'll notice previously there was a Slim Line and a Slim Line 2 and a 3 and now a 4. What they have been doing every time they come out with a new slimline lamp, they are increasing the amount of light. So what they have done on this new Slimline 4 is it has the same the same clamp, but now it has more light. So when I turn this on, see how bright that is? And you can dim it down if you want it. It has multiple different dimming settings. And it is very bright, and then this you can move it around. And I love that you can move it around because no matter what I'm working on, if it's clamped to my table while I'm sewing, I can get it closer to what I need, or I can move it up to give it more light over a whole area. Very easy to use, and this has been one of our best sellers. The other best seller, there is a floor version of this lamp as well, of the Slimline 4. This is the table version that has a clamp, which is handy because it can clamp onto any table, and it is adjustable. So the clamp is sort of, let me put my hand where you can see it. It's sort of like this, and so you can, go like this and make the clamp whatever size you need if your table is smaller or bigger, and it just clamps right on. If you don't have a table you can clamp it to, you could buy a table base that you could set it on if you wanted to sit on a table. But this is great because it has all this light. And the other thing I love about the daylight lamps is that you do not change these bulbs. The bulbs are designed to last for up to 50,000 hours, right? It's a long time where you're getting all of this amazing light. There's no heat, so you can touch it. It really is an amazing product with really great light. And this guy, like I said, you can also spin it here, so you have a lot of ways that you can move it. And then this does come in different colors. This is the best selling color here, but there are some different colors of this lamp as well. Question. Can you order a base? Yes, you can, Ellen. It's called the table base, and it is round. It's about like this big, and it is the same silvery color. The base only comes in one color, so if you want to order the base that is in that nickel silver color, then you want to order the brushed nickel lamp as well, because they also have like a rose gold version, and I think they have a dark version, but they won't match the base. The base only comes in one color, so that is a pro tip. So are these lights multiple wavelengths? You can definitely dim them. They do have a couple in their line that have like warm or cool light. Most of them are going to just be the same color of light, but at different brightness levels, if that makes sense. I do believe they have one that has the other that has warm or cool. At least I have one at home, so I think it still exists. Okay, so this is the slim line. This guy is on sale for I think it's $203. I have a tag over here. Yes, it's $203.99 is what the slim line is on sale for, and but it is 20% off with that code. So that really saves some big money on a really amazing lamp that lasts a really long time. And this has been our #1 selling daylight lamp because it is so versatile and it provides so much light. So I'm going to turn this guy. Oh, and the new one also has a little USB-C that plugs in right here, which is sort of handy for charging. That is also built into the new Slimline 4. Okay, so I'm going to turn this guy off. I gotta keep going down. Another question
about bulbs.
Okay, can the bulbs be replaced? The bulbs cannot be replaced. They do have I gotta move this so it's not in my face. My team's like, Carmen, your face is getting chopped off by the light. The bulbs are not replaceable. You would replace the whole light. They do have a very good 1-year warranty. We really don't see a lot of problems with these, and we sell a lot of these lamps, and they last a really long time. 50,000 hours is a long time where you're going to have great light. So that is all of that good stuff there. Okay. So let's see here. Mike has that other vacuum if we want to see the vacuum quick. I don't know when is a good time, but he's here, so I feel like we should just show you quick since you guys asked.
We have the Sonic Power right here.
This is the Sonic Power vacuum. So it just sucks, and it has it comes with little accessories, and you can just like suck out your sewing machine there, or you can blow with it, which is pretty awesome. And it's called, turn it off here, the Sonic Power Mini Vacuum, and this guy is a great deal also on the website or in the stores. So yeah, so there is that. If you want the best thing for vacuuming out your sewing machine, this guy is the winner. It's also amazing for your car, because I don't know about you, but I get lots of crumbs and there's little tiny places. This guy gets them all, and it is cordless, and you just charge it.
Or if you know someone that has a small child in their life, buy this for them as a gift.
Exactly. It would be great for anyone who has children as Christmas presents. This would be perfect.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other daylight lamps that I have here, the next one I'm going to talk about is the Halo 2. So sort of like how this is the Slimline 4, Halo 2 is a newer version of their Halo lamp. And every time they come out with a new version, they are adding more light, more features. This guy stays on longer. So this Halo 2 is cordless, which I actually really love. I'm so into the cordless things, right? So it comes with this, let me show you how it comes. It's sort of cool. It comes with this great bag like this, so it can be stored, and you can keep the power cord here. This just plugs into a normal brick via USB. So right, there we go. Beautiful. And it just charges with the USB-C. And it comes with the cable, which is nice, and the bag, and then it's easy to just pop it open here. But what's great about this guy is it has really great light. It has 3 settings of light, cordless, and it has a magnifier. So this is awesome because you can magnify with it right here in the top. It also all swivels. All of these lights are going to move a whole bunch, which is pretty awesome. And it is nice to have a magnifier if you're trying to see something, take out seams, if you do hand sewing, or if there's just something you need to see, which, I mean, sometimes there just is, right? And we need a little help with our eyes. All built in, really handy because you can take it to class, you can take it around, and it gives you all of this great light. This is the Halo 2, and this guy is, where is it here? $131.99. And then of course it's 20% off that price. And these are on the website, or these are in the store locations. Okay, next, let's go to another top seller. This is called the Magnificent Pro. And this guy looks really tall, right? You can sort of see, I'm gonna hold it up here. I guess I'm just gonna, maybe I'll take it this way. This can be a floor lamp, or you can take out one of these segments and then it becomes a table lamp. So it's very, very versatile, which is why part of the reason why it is so popular is because it can be either a floor lamp or a table lamp, which is super handy. The on-off switch is here, and you can see there, we turned it on, creates a whole bunch of light, right? And it has 3 different settings here, and then it also has, like we talked about with the other guy here, it has a magnifier right in the top, so you can use that for magnification and light. So this one is also one of our top sellers because it's also a great value piece because you're getting a floor lamp, you're getting a table lamp, and a magnifier with lighting all in one. So this guy is pretty awesome. I'm gonna set him back down here so as he's a little bit tall on that table. And this guy is on sale at Where is it? $149, and then of course less the 20%. Okay, now I have two more that are smaller to show you. One is this little guy here. So he looks kind of small. He's a sewing machine lamp. The idea is he comes with this is a little sticky here, and there's a little bracket that you put on your machine, and then this would add light to your machine. So we turn this on here. You see how much light that just added? So if you have a sewing machine that doesn't have a light on it because it's real old, this would help it out. Or if your sewing machine, the lighting isn't in the right place, because sometimes the lighting in the machine isn't actually where you want it and you want to have a little more flexibility or add more light, you can add this guy on. These guys are on sale for $48.99, and then once again they're 20% off. And then they also have a little brackety pieces here that can go on here because this is corded. So it does have to get plugged in, sort of like how your sewing machine gets plugged in, but the cord is very long. You can see I have it's plugged in all the way on the floor. So you can see that you'd have no problem connecting it to wherever you're plugging your sewing machine in. So this guy is called the sewing machine lamp. And then finally, our little yo-yo. This guy is so cute. And he is a great pocket light. Once again, great for classes, great for traveling maybe next to your beds, that sort of thing. So it is a light. So you can see it provides some nice little light here, and it is also a little magnifier. All built into one. It's really a handy little guy, and I love how compact it is and easy it is to take with you, and easy to turn off. This guy is battery operated. It takes 3 AAA batteries, so very easy. So you don't have to worry about charging it or anything. But it is super cute, and this guy is $25 less the 20%. So awesome deal. And then, does somebody want to win one of these? Should we give one of these away as one of the things we're giving away? I think we should. So if you like, comment, and share either on Facebook or YouTube, you will be entered to win this B33 sewing machine. We're actually giving away 2 of them. This yo-yo, right? The scissors that we talked about earlier. The what else do I got here? The iridescent vinyl, right? All of the good things here, you will be entered to win. So like, comment, and share. And then we also, on October 18th, in our stores, you will also be able to enter to win a B33. When we do our one-day sale, you can enter to win there, and we're giving away 2 of these B33s for anyone who likes, comments, and shares online, and then 1 at each store location. So we're giving away lots of sewing machines this month, which is super fun to celebrate our 40th anniversary. And if you're curious about where any of this product is on the website, you can just go to the qualitysewing.com homepage, and there's a big banner at the top that says day 2. There's a picture of Carmen and Mike right there right now. Or if it's posted, there'll be some banner at the top of the website during this whole time that says anniversary sale. You click on that and it will take you to the full schedule. So if you've missed any of the content and you want to go back or rewatch something, you can do that, and you can see where those times are for the different segments. And then also, if you scroll down, all of the product that we are talking about is also here, so you can see it, you can shop it. All of these products are available on the website or in our store locations. Some of our sewing machines are only available in the store. They're on the website, but there's no pricing on them because you can only purchase them in a physical store location, and we are not able to ship them out of our area. But some of these things we can totally ship to you if you live out of the area. So if you're not sure, just give us a call and we'll let you know what the special pricing is, and we'll let you know how we can get it to you. Question. Do you have to enter each day? No, you do not have to enter each day, but the more times you enter, the better chances you have to win. So, and by entering, all you're doing is just like commenting, sharing, like just by asking that question, you just entered. So pretty easy, make it super easy to like, comment, or share as a way to enter to win the prizes. Okay, any other questions? Okay, I saw lots of I love daylight lamps. They are amazing, and if your sewing room is dark, treat yourself to a daylight lamp or put it on your Christmas list because you will not regret it. Okay, well, next up, we have Reva, and she is gonna go over the Baby Lock Applaud, and she's gonna talk about decorative serging techniques. A couple of you yesterday actually asked about this machine when we were talking about the other sergers, so today we have that for you. It is a pretty amazing serger. I have been so impressed with the things you can do. You can do really bright, colorful things, or you can even do things tone on tone, adding texture, and you can tell by my whole black outfit that I like monochrome, but I do love embellishment that is monochrome as well, and the Applaud just offers so many cool things that you can do. So I think you will enjoy this segment, and I will see you back after she finishes.
Do you have a cover hem machine or heaven's sakes, what on earth is a cover hem machine? Well, a cover hem machine will give you that professional hem that you're looking for, that you find on the garments that you buy at the store. For example, this t-shirt has this great little perfectly finished little hem that, and this is a pre-purchased t-shirt, so it looks really great, but it's a clean finish and it has a nice amount of stretch. So you're not going to hear all those threads popping when you put it on and off. It actually is a professional finish, and you can get that at home with a cover hem machine. Now, the Euphoria is a dedicated cover hem machine, and one thing that's unique about it, you're going to notice, is that it has so much space to the right of the needle. And let's just show you really quick what a cover hem does. Now, one thing I like about this machine is that the presser foot lifter is all the way over on the right hand side, so you don't have to try to go to the back. But let's take a look at how great this thing stitches out. And then we're going to take a look at some of the variations that you can do with it. So here is a triple cover hem. And that just means that we've used all 3 needle positions. You can choose to do 1 needle, 2 needles, 2 outside needles, these 2 needles, whatever you want to do, but it has a very beautiful finish, and you get this really kind of a more utilitarian weaving of the threads on the back. Now, you don't have to settle for having it utilitarian. You can also use the back side as the right side by using decorative threads in that lower looper. And this is using a 2 thread here, and this is using 1 thread. So 1 needle and 2 needles. So let's take a look at this and threading the machine. So I'm going to just go ahead and cut the thread off of the machine here. I'm going to raise up that presser foot and let's get rid of that thread there. So I got that pulled out. So now, usually on machines that are sergers, unless they're air threading, you have to kind of climb under the hood and go through all the thread things. It's very difficult. This is not. To thread it, all I need to do is push this down, and then I'm going to turn the hand wheel until this little tube clicks shut. That's it. Then we'll take the end of our thread and pop it in this little hole right here. Right there. And then I'm going to push the button, and the air has threaded it for us. So now it's ready to sew. So let's take that same piece of fabric, and just right away it picks it up and it's going to stitch out absolutely perfectly. So that's pretty cool, isn't it? Love it, love it, love it. Now let's talk about the needles, because let's not lie. Those little eyes on those needles are getting so tiny. Every year they get smaller. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the thread on that left needle, and I'll give myself a little bit more thread. So this has a needle threader on it, which is awesome. So you notice it says C1, 2, and 3. That's needles 1, 2, and 3. C stands for chain. So needle 1, 2, and 3. So right now I have it in the first position. All we have to do is lower this. Whoops. Oh, it's not up all the way. That's what it is. There we go. My needles weren't all the way up. Okay. So now, but it wasn't that nice that it kept me from making an error and damaging that little needle threader, because the threader has a tiny hook. And since my needle wasn't in the proper position, was it able to go down, it would have damaged that needle threader, but it kept me from making a mistake. So I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to slip that thread right in this little groove. And that's where there's a little crochet hook. And when we pull it up, there we go. Now that needle is threaded just as easy as can be. I love it, love it, love it. And we didn't have to do it. Now, let's take a look at other configurations, because remember, you can move your needle or remove and only use 1 needle at a time, 2 needles at a time. It's your choice. So let's go ahead and we're going to take that needle out. No, before I do, I wonder if we can see right down here, it says number 1, 2, and 3. And I can even see the really tip of that needle, so I can tell that the needle is all the way up. Have you ever used a serger or a machine and you didn't have the needle in the right position, so it didn't agree with you? Well, now you can see. So this needle I'm taking out, there's a little magnetic tray right over here that we can place the needle in so we're not going to lose it. And then this thread, we're just going to get rid of him. I'm just going to trim him off. So now we can do our stitches, but now I'm only working with 2 threads at a time. So now we'll do our sewing. And now we have a 2-thread cover hem. Isn't that great? And we can keep going. I'm going to cut this next one, cut that off, and we'll take that thread out and take that needle out. And now we're down to 1 thread, and now we can do our chain stitch. So let's take a look. I'm just going to grab a new piece of fabric and throw that under. I guess I should try to at least kind of fold it straight. So let's take that and pop it under. And now we're going to do our single needle. This is really fun to do for quilting because you can quilt all day long and seam all day long, and you're not going to run out of bobbin thread because look at all the thread you got on the machine, which is absolutely wonderful. And this is called a chain stitch. So it's kind of like the stitch you find on your dog food bags, you know, so that's just really a nice secure stitch. Okay, so that is a cover hem. Oh, and this machine also has a differential feed. So if you're working with a really stretchy fabric, you can ask it to kind of, you know, kind of control it so it's not going to get all stretched out. Or if you want to gather, man, you can put it all the way up. And let's see how that does. This machine actually gathers really, really well. And so this is not even with a gathering foot, but it's going to go ahead and gather that fabric. Look at that. It gathers the fabric. And if you had a gathering foot, it would even do more. So you have the differential feed. You have, man, you can just do all sorts of things on this machine. But now if you want to do even more, because maybe you're a person that likes things that are really pretty. So this is good, but this is better. This is the Baby Lock Applaud. Now this is a cover hem machine, and you can see here's the 3 needles that looks very much the same as the Euphoria. And we have that same amount of space in here. But this machine has the ability to do decorative couching, which is so cool. So right now I have it threaded with the lavender and the pearl thread, and we can, when we stitch, watch these little guys right here. They go back and forth, and they're moving the threads in front of the needle, so you get a decorative stitch. Now, depending on your stitch length and the thread you use and how many needles you use and how many decorative threads you use, you're going to get a completely different look, which is so awesome. So let's take a look here. Look at how beautiful that is. So imagine doing a hem on a shirt with that instead of the regular thread. That's pretty amazing. So let's take a look at a couple of samples that I just want to show you real quick. So here's some things that you could do. Now remember, you can use the needle threads. You can use 1, 2, or 3 needle threads. You can use 1 or 2 of the decorative threads. So here's 2 decorative threads here. We got 1 there and 1 there. Look at this. So that's just 1 big chunky thread. There's 1 little thread with just the a narrower stitch. And here's 2 threads with 1 needle. So there's all different looks that you're going to get depending on the thread configuration that you use. Oh, and by the way, on either one of these machines, you can use the belt loop maker. It's an attachment that you put right on the machine, and it will fold the fabric for you. I mean, seriously, that's amazing. Now, here's a fun little piece that I did, and I even put the binding on using the wonderful stitch there. And I tried all different stitches with this one. It was so much fun. But we have all different fabrics and things that you can do using the Applaud. It's so much fun. So you can do wovens, knits, all sorts of different threads. It's just cool. It's just really cool. Oh, even on swimwear. I mean, seriously, if you want to make leggings. Oh, here's a tip. If you like to do athletic wear, if you use like the woolly thread, you can use that in the wipers here, and it will give that really stretchy, athletic, professional look that you have on your sleeves and your leggings. It's amazing. So if you want a machine that does even more than just cover hem, that's the Applaud. But both of them have a wonderful capability. We have the Baby Lock Euphoria and the Applaud for cover hem. Now for our anniversary sale, Carmen and Paul and Mike have great prices on these, and they're going to tell you about the bundles we have on this machine that you're going to want to check out. So you're going to want to give us a call or stop into one of our stores, and let's see what special that we're going to share with you.
Thanks, Reva. I love the Baby Lock Applaud. When we were at convention, there was this black turtleneck, and I know I already mentioned I love black, but it was done with all those stitches like all the way down, so it was just a solid knit that then all of the Applaud stitching made the whole thing look textured. It was gorgeous. And so, you know, all of those stitches she showed are just super fun. And right now, because of the anniversary sale, one, we have a special price on the Applaud that you need to give us a call or come into the store. But two, you get to get the 2 different foot sets, not just one, but both of the foot sets for free with the Applaud. So that means you're getting the cording, taping, micro insert foot set, which has all the different sizes to do. It really expands all the things you can do with this machine. And then you are also getting the stitch and the ditch micro insert foot kit, which is super great for when you want to do really cool decorative things. You know, you can do so many amazing things with the Applaud. And the Applaud is a regular, you know, it does regular cover hem, and it does all of those cool decorative stitches that she was showing you with that amazing wiper technology. We did have a question come through about like, what's the difference between a serger and a cover hem machine? So a serger is, most sergers are going, all sergers, I guess I should say, they do like 2, 3, and 4 thread overedge. So if you were to look at the inside of your shirt right now, you probably have a 3 or 4 thread overedge, and it is going to cut your seam allowance and finish that edge all in one go. Great for knits, all of that good stuff, okay? Now, if cover hem is what is across the bottom of most of our t-shirts. So it's 2 straight stitches on top, and then the bottom is that overcasted stitch, and you do not cut. You're just folding it over and you're doing that perfect hem, if that makes sense. So like the B68 that I showed you earlier, the Bernette 68, that does both cover hem and serging. This machine does just cover hem and all of those amazing decorative stitches. And what's cool about this is a lot of us have a serger, right? Maybe you have a really lovely air threading serger, and you've been thinking about getting cover hem. Instead of you know buying a machine that does both, you can now add on the Applaud, so you would get all of those cover hem stitches, right? And you would get all of the decorative stitches, which is pretty cool to have. And what's great then is both machines can just stay set up for those things all the time, and you have to thread a whole lot less if you have the room for 2 machines. So that's the bonus. Okay, another question. What's the difference between the Applaud and the Triumph? Excellent question, Carolyn. So the Triumph is going to be able to do all of the cover hem features that the Applaud does, but the Triumph does not have the ability to do all of those decorative all those decorative stitches with the wipers, all of these really beautiful ones that she showed with all of the thick threads that sort of weave that stuff into the different stitches, right? It cannot do any of that because it doesn't have the technology on the machine. The Triumph is, however, a overedge machine, and it does a cover hem, right? So it does serging and it does cover hem. It does do all that. It's a beautiful machine. We did have a video yesterday on the Triumph. In case you missed it, you go back and watch it. But this guy is going to do the cover hem and then all of those cool decorative stitches. It's brand new technology. We're just in love with it. Another question. Will the belt loop attachment work on the Triumph? Yes, it will. Yep. And the key for knowing if your serger can take some of those cool attachments for a lot of them is if they have the holes here in the front of the serger, because there's a lot of the attachments for the sergers that actually like screw into the front here. And that's usually the trigger sign of like, yo, my machine can take a lot more of those that are more like attachments and not just feet. Okay, great. Any other questions on the Applaud? Okay, so 40th anniversary sale is happening now at all store locations. We have special prices until October 18th. On October 18th, we were having a one-day sale in stores. It's going to be awesome. All of the different things that we have been talking about, you can go to our webpage, qualitysewing.com, and you can click on the big banner that says 40th anniversary, and it will take you to this amazing landing page where it'll have all of the previous videos if you want to go back and watch something, or if you've missed some videos. It has the schedule for tomorrow. We have one more day, and we have a whole bunch of fun stuff tomorrow. I'm just going to show some great notions. We're going to learn why you might want AccuQuilt. We're going to learn more about sew tights. We're going to see the Brother Avenir. And we're also going to learn about the new Brother PR1060W, an amazing multi-needle machine with some tips about how you might want to start a business, right? So there's a lot of really cool things that we have for tomorrow, so you don't want to miss that. And of course, we got another question? Is it easy to switch between serger and cover stitch? Yes, it is. As long as you have an air threading machine, that would be my caveat. Air threading makes it super easy because then it's not hard to thread those loopers and not hard to thread those needles, and the machines just make it easier and easier. They tell you how to do it. Everything is color coded, and of course with any of these machines, anything we've talked about, you do get free learn to use your machine classes at any Quality Sewing location. We also have a robust selection of those learn to use classes that we've pre-recorded that are on our YouTube channel, so you can also watch those from home. And then the baby lock machines all come with 60 days love of knowledge, which is their Sew Egg classes. It is an online platform where there's hundreds of different classes, including ones on how to use the machine that come free with any baby lock machine. So that is pretty awesome as well. Tons of ways for you to learn. And then, like I mentioned previously, if you do have a closet serger at home, or any machine, embroidery machine, quilting machine, whatever it is, and you just don't really know how to use it, even if you didn't buy it from us, it doesn't matter when or where you purchased it, we will teach you for free how to use it, because we want to make sure everybody is having fun with their sewing, crafting, embroidering, and we want to be a resource for you. Okay, so we talked about lots of notions. Those are also on that landing page that I talked about getting to from our website. And with that 20% off code, 40 years, you can take 20% off all the notions and accessories. The machines are all on a different special. So you just want to call a store or come in, because we have amazing deals where there's extra bundle items, lower prices, all sorts of good stuff on all of our different machines right now, because we are celebrating our 40th anniversary, and we want to thank you as our amazing customer base. So we have special deals on everything this month, and it sort of culminates in the middle of the month with our one-day sale on October 18th at every store location. Now, one final reminder, like, comment, share, and you can enter to win this beautiful B33 sewing machine or any of these other fun items that I have talked about that we will be giving away. Now, for those of you watching live right now, I love that you are still here, and I have a prize for you. So I'm going to give another pair of Kai scissors, because I feel like you just can't have enough scissors, right? So these are the 5210. These are their standard dressmaker shear, lovely scissor. And this is going to someone who is watching live right now. This one is going to Alana LaSawyer. I'm really sorry if I just totally butchered your last name, but congratulations, you have won. Just message us and we will figure out how to get this to you. You can pick it up at store, or we can mail it to you if you do not live close. So watch us tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we have another full day of fun stuff, and it's not a whole day, it'll be a couple of hours like today, and we've got lots of great stuff in store for you. So thank you so much, and like I said, if you have any questions, just reach out to a store or give us a call or chat on our website where we have live people to answer your questions, and we can help you take one of these beautiful machines home.